What's up, doers? It's your boy Happy Chappy here, and on this episode we're going to show you how to build an iron super farm. Now this is a massive project, so what I suggest you do is I suggest you build the villager breeder that we did a couple episodes ago. I suggest you build it somewhere near this thing, because just for one level of this iron farm you are going to need 24 villagers in total. And then as well, I would also build a mob collector, okay, like you see in this video here, and then basically just collect as many zombies as you can and just continue to throw them items, throw them as many items as you can until all of them pick it up, and then open up a little slot on the side and try to maybe kill off all the ones that won't pick up an item. So do those two things, build the villager breeder nearby as well as the zombie collector thing nearby as well, and you should be good for this farm. So the items that you're going to need for this farm, so for one layer, are 3 stacks of planks or some sort of builder blocks, okay? You're going to need 2 3/4 stacks of brick wall or some sort of stone wall anyways. You're going to need a stack of glass, 24 composters, okay? Bring along a stack of carpet, 24 trapdoors, 8 fence gates, 9 hoppers, a whole bunch of water, so just make yourself an infinite water source. You're going to need 1 bucket of lava, 4 cauldrons. You're not going to need 64, but you'll probably need at least a half stack of redstone dust, 8 sticky pistons, 2 redstone repeaters, as many chests as you're going to need in order to collect the iron and everything from this system. Then you're going to need 24 beds, and as well as 9 more fence gates or 9 signs, and that is to contain the lava at the bottom of the kill pit. Okay, now for the hopper clock for this thing, because this is going to be on a piston timer, okay, or a hopper clock timer anyways, you're going to need 2 hoppers, a single block of redstone, 2 sticky pistons, 2 comparators, 3 redstone dust, 2 builder blocks of some kind, 24 glass of some kind, okay, 32 slabs of some kind as well too. And then you're going to need some temporary blocks that are easy to break as well, so you can bring those along as well with you. And then if you are going to stack this thing, depending on how many times you're going to stack this, you're going to need as many resources as this times the amount of times that you're going to stack this. So if you're going to stack this 3 times, you're going to need 3 times this, and so on. And then as well as bring along some extra redstone, some slabs, and some repeaters with you if you do stack this thing up. So okay, so the first thing we're going to do for this build is build a 3x3 enclosed area like that. And then what we want to do is we want to build that up. I know in our other iron farms we did it about 5 or 6 blocks up, but in this one we're going to do it outside the spawn radius of anything that can, you know, come into this. So we're going to do it outside the cat spawn radius, for example. So we're going to build this thing up here 8 blocks high in total. Okay, and once you have this thing 7 or 8 blocks in the air like that, what you're going to do is decide which direction this is going to go, because it is going to be a rectangle. Okay, and what we are going to do is we're going to build a layer around this whole thing. Okay, so it looks like that, and then we're going to do it double wide. So which way am I going? I'm going to go this way with the iron farm, I think. Yeah, so we're going to go double wide here. Okay. And then off the end of this here, you're going to add 4 more blocks. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then fill that out all the way across. Okay, once you have that done, what we're going to do is place a temporary block here and then build up 1. Then we're going to come across. And then we're going to do the same thing, so another 4 blocks. Okay, and do that all the way across. Okay, and then repeat that process one more time, but we're going to do 6 blocks this time. So we're going to bring that up. Then we're going to go across. And then we're going to bring this out 6 deep. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes 6. The reason why I do it that way is because 4 blocks is your building depth. So you can see here we can just butt up against this and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Okay, this here is what it should look like, and then we're just going to repeat that process on this side. So we'll bring this one out here 4 blocks. Then we'll step it up and do 5, and then we'll step it up and do another 6. Okay, and once you're all done, this is what the platform should look like. So each side, this side should be 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step up to another 5 with a step up to a 6er. Okay, and next what we're going to do is we're going to surround this thing with our stone walls here, and this is going to be to contain the water. So what you can do is come down the sides here and then step down, do the same thing, step down, and then just continue all the way across and do the same thing for the entire platform here. Okay, once you have that done, this is what it is going to look like here, and then you can go around and put a second layer on this whole thing, and that should, I mean, golems can't jump up on fences anyways, as you can see, right? It's over a one block, but these corners they might be able to get to, which it doesn't seem like, but if you want to, you can go around and put another layer on top of this thing and get her done. Okay, once you have your wall on it, this is what it is going to look like there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come to the middle, okay, place down a temporary block on the inside just like that, and then this is where your first set of fence gates are going to go. So you're going to surround this whole thing here, okay, and then you're going to come to the corners. It doesn't matter which way you do it, and you're going to shift click and place down another fence gate. And then you're going to make sure that all of them are open, and then remove the temporary block on the inside. Okay, when it's done, this is the pattern that you should have when they are open. And once you're all done, this is what it should look like here. Okay, your wall's nice and high, too high. They extend at least one block out from the drop down here, so that way there's no jumping from the one ledge over to the wall top here. Okay, so next we're going to build our villager pods. So what we're going to do is we have to space these out properly. So what we're going to do is right here on this block that is right before the step up, okay, you should have a wall block there. What we're going to do is we're going to come up one and then out three, and then we're going to place our block, and this is where our villagers are going to stand. We can then remove those blocks and do the same thing on this side. So just place down basically 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then the block that the villagers are going to stand on, remove the first 4, and then do the same thing for the corner down here. So come out 4 blocks with your temporaries, and then place down the one that you're going to stand on, and do the same thing for this corner down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And those are the blocks that the villagers are going to stand on, basically. So do the same thing for this side here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, once you have all of those in place, this is what they should look like. Now we're going to build the villager pods. Now I've done a lot of looking into this, and I've figured out the reason why the villagers are dying. Now there's 2 ways you can build this villager pod in order to get the job done. Okay, so we'll do the first one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to place down a trapdoor on this block here. Okay, then we're going to place a piece of glass in front of it with our bed on top. Then we're going to place a bed on this side and that side of the trapdoor there. Then we can remove the block underneath. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come around to the back here and place down a composter. And then what you can do is fill this center part here with water. And as you can see, it is enclosed by the beds there. And now what was happening before was that if we put our workstations here, okay, everybody was thinking that the villagers were taking damage because of the workstations and whatnot, but what was actually happening was the villagers were actually drowning. So, okay, and what would end up happening is this here. So the villager would slide over, and his head would end up being underwater. And if you just watch here for a second, this guy will eventually take damage because he is drowning. Now it's not damage that is done by the pods. See, as you see in there, he took damage. So it's not damage from any of the pods or the workstations. I have iron farms set up with all kinds of workstations on them, and the villagers never take damage from them. So all you have to do is just basically flip these beds around here. So sorry buddy, you're gone though. Okay, so like that, and then like this as well. Okay, so once you get your villagers in, they will take to the beds here. And as you can see, even if they do slide over a little bit, their head is not underneath the water and everything is good to go. Okay, so another way that you can do this is you can put the bed this way as well too. So just on top of the pillow of that bed there going sideways, you just have to make sure you put a trapdoor here so that way the villager doesn't jump into this spot. But that is another way that you can do this. Okay, so again, in order to build those pods, what you're going to do is you're going to place down a trapdoor. Okay, then just a temporary block to put down your bed on. Then you're going to aim at this side of the trapdoor there and place down your next 2 beds. Once that is done, you can remove the block underneath. Then you're going to come to the back, aim at the trapdoor again, and place down your composter. Then you're going to go composter, composter. And normally what you would do is you would put your trapdoor here with your carpet on top of it. But because we are going to be doing a piston activated system today, what we're going to do is we're going to place our trapdoor down there. We're going to fill this with water, and then we're going to put a block over top of the back composter there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come up 2 blocks here, and we're going to put a roof over top of this thing, leaving this center one here open. Okay, and this is where you are going to drop your villagers down and in. Now I'll put a link in the description to a video on how to get that done. Okay, it is pretty easy. All you have to do is, just like I said at the beginning, put your villager breeder somewhere over here, okay, outside of the range so that they don't pick up on the workstations. Run your rails up in this direction here, so that way you can just drop your villagers in, remove the encasement, and then continue on to the next one. So get your villagers in this place using the video that I will link here, and yeah, you're good to go. Okay, once your villagers are in place here, what you're going to do is just repeat those steps for the next 7 pods here. So that is, again, place down your temporary block with your trapdoor on top of the block there. Then you're going to go bed, aiming at the trapdoor, bed, bed, and then aim at the trapdoor again, composter with a block on top of it. Trapdoor on the lower half of the foot part of the bed with a composter over the feet of the other 2 outside beds there. Then you're just going to add your water, build up to, build out and around, so that way you can cover this entire thing, and then drop your villagers in place. Run your rails back across and drop your villagers in place. Okay, once everybody is in place, this is what it should look like here. Okay, if your villagers are bouncing around too much like this, all you have to do is just come in here and place down a trapdoor. Okay, that will stop them from bouncing, and they will do their regular sink and stand thing. Just place your trapdoor down on top, if you can ever get it because of the bouncing. There we go. Probably even do it for the stations that aren't bouncing as well too, just because at nighttime when they do wake up they can get excited and then start to bounce because the zombies will be here. But that is what everybody should look like. Okay, and at nighttime, as you can see, everybody should be taking up their beds and all is well. Nobody is taking any damage, okay, because nobody's head is underneath the water. As you can see, even when they do get spooked and wake up, there is no damage being done. So that is how it is set up. Even this guy here, as you can see, he is a little crooked. Okay, but he is not underwater. If he does wake up, he won't take any damage. And if you want to keep this in a 3x3 area here, all you have to do is put this bed on top of that bed with the trapdoor on the outside like we talked about, and we are good. As you can see, that guy there got spooked by something and woke up, but he did not have any damage. That guy there, no damage. And so on and so forth. So that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. I know. Okay, as you can hear too, everybody does work when it does reach time 3000, and we are good to go. Our next step now is to start putting in our cauldrons for our zombies. So what we're going to do here is basically, it has to be on the same level as the bed. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here to the center on this end wall here, and we're going to put one down here, or a temporary block down there anyways. Okay, so temporary block down, and then we'll put our cauldron on top, and that is where our zombie is going to go. As you can see, its feet are on the same level as the bed, and everything should work. So for the center ones here, because there is nothing to build on, all you have to do is just build out to the center here, okay, off the end of the bed, and place your cauldron down right there, and then remove these blocks and you're good to go. Okay, so that is 5 blocks until the center, then your cauldron, and bammo. Okay, once all your cauldrons are in place, what we are going to do is build the piston systems for the, the scare mechanism here. Okay, so we're going to grab our repeaters, our slabs, our planks, our pistons, some redstone, and then some carpet as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to build up 3 blocks on top of the cauldrons, just like that. Then you're going to place a sticky piston on the inside, in between the villager and the cauldron there, with a half slab on the bottom. And you can remove those blocks there, okay, and move down, and then do that same thing for all 4 cauldrons here. So again, that is 3 blocks there, with a sticky piston facing down in between the villagers, or on the villager sides anyways. Remove those blocks and then put a half slab down. Okay, once that is all done, this is what they should look like. And now we're going to run our redstone up to them. So what we're going to do is on the inside pistons here, okay, it doesn't matter, you can choose a side, really doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you're going to place down 2 slabs, okay, coming from the piston to the outside there. So do the same thing on that side. And then you're going to place a full block on top of each piston. And then you're going to come back 2, okay, do the same thing on this side, back 2, and then connect that section up there. So run your redstone, or sorry, your planks all the way down, or your slabs all the way down, and then take your next slabs, okay, and come off of this about 4 or 5 blocks, it does not matter to me, and then build up 1 block with a full, and then come all the way across until you meet up with your piston there. Do the same thing on the other side and try to make it uniform if you can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a step up. And there we are with our piston. Okay, do the same thing as we did on the other one. Put a full block there and there, there and there. Same thing, there and there. And then what you want to do is put a repeater here with a repeater here as well too, just before this connection. And then you can run your redstone down and across. Do the same thing up here as well too. Okay, and that is the foundation for the redstone. Now we are going to run the redstone up and over like this and into that block, but what we are going to do next is build an encasement here around the zombie pod. Okay, so make it so that it looks like this. Okay, and even fill this in here temporarily, because what we want to do is do the same system that we did with our villagers and drop our zombies down in there, and then put our roof back on top of him. So that'll be that roof there, okay, with the full block there. So build this all the way in like this, and then what we're going to do is drop our zombie in place, and either, like I said, make sure he has an item in his hand, so throw your items to him, or give him a name tag. Okay, it's probably best that you do this step here at nighttime in order for the zombies not to burn. Okay, so once you have all your encasements done for the zombies, just do the same thing as you did for the villagers. Just run your rails up and over from your zombie breeder or zombie collector on the other side. Run your rails up and over, drop them in place using your fishing line, and then you are good to go. Okay, and once you have all of your zombies in place, as you can see I have 4 of them in here, because they are encased in their little things there. They will not spook the villagers, and we won't have any golems spawning on us. Your next step is to put the top half slab back over top of them, so right there, and then the full block in between the pistons, and then we'll move on to the next step here. Okay, and once you have the roof back on the system here, what you want to do is take your redstone, okay, and then run it up and over, and then into the next block there. So same thing on this side, run it up and over, come down here, run it up and over. Okay, and now your system is good and ready to go. And all you have to do next after that, in order for zombies, or sorry, not zombies, golems not to spawn up here, is place carpet on these 3 blocks here, and then you are set. You can even double it up if you want to, but 1 usually is enough. Okay, you can do the same thing for the glass too, as well as in the recent updates. For some reason, golems like to spawn on glass sometimes, which is really random and strange, but whatever, it is what it is. Okay, once you have that section done, what you can do next is come to the inside here, fall down your little chamber here. Okay, and then once you're on the inside here, you can either do that by coming to the inside here or falling down like I just did. What you want to do is you want to build this down, or dig this down, another 8 to 10 blocks anyways, because we are 8 blocks to the platform there. We want to be at least 16 blocks away from the villagers, so that way the iron golems drop and get out of sight, or line of sight, or range, or whatever of the villagers as fast as possible. So, like I said, dig this down 8 to 10 blocks and we should be good. Okay, once you are 8 to 10 blocks down, what you're going to do is just dig yourself out a little room to work from like usual. Okay, then you're going to place your chest just to the outside there. Then you're going to place your hoppers all going into it. Okay, and then on the layer there above the hoppers, so 1 block up, you're going to place your signs. Okay, it doesn't matter which way you do it, but you do need 9 of them. Once you have those signs in place, you can use trapdoors here too as well if you are on Java, because trapdoors below lava for some reason just do not burn. I don't understand it, but it works, you know, whatever. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just stand here, jump, place your lava back out, and then close it all in. Okay, so as you can see, the signs hold the lava up, and that is what is going to burn the golems when they come down. All you have to do is fill this area in here, and you are good to go. Dig yourself out to the surface in the little roundabout pattern that we always talked about, in a 5x5 or a 6x6 pattern. Okay, once you're back at the surface here and your lava pit is all done, what you want to do is place a temporary row here on the top half here. Okay, you can do the same thing for the other side, and then you're going to place a water block in the corner there and another one in the corner here. Okay, and then you can remove this wall here, and as you see, the water should flow down. If it doesn't come far enough, all you have to do is just add another source here in the center. Okay, and the water should flow down. And then what we're going to do is manipulate the water a little bit. So come here to where the step down is, place down a temporary block, and then remove it. Do the same thing for this side. Okay, and as you can see, that pushes the water towards the center here. Do the same thing for this drop down here too. Put a temporary block and remove it, and then do the same thing there. As you can see, we have a nice water flow that pushes the golems into the center here. And do the same thing on this side here, so come across with your wall. Okay, and then what you're going to do is come to the middle one here on these sides, place down a single water source, and what you should get is a nice flow of water like that towards the center. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, since we have that all done, our next step is to build the hopper clock and then connect it up to this system here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. Okay, and next what we're going to do is we're going to come out at least 2 blocks here. Okay, and basically what we want to do is we just want to build this down. So okay, once you have your steps all the way up to the top here, what you're going to do is run your redstone up, and then we're going to connect it into the thing here. Okay, now we're going to need a repeater here for sure somewhere. But first we're going to place down one here, and then what we're going to do is come about halfway down, and then we're going to come out 2, around 1, and then up a full block like that. This is where we are going to put our repeater, okay, with our redstone wrapped around and into the system there. Now the redstone signal comes up, and because the delay goes here and then here, okay, all of this here, these 2 get activated at the same time, and these 2 get activated at the same time, which is also at the same time as that side over there. Okay, if we were to put, say, like one repeater here and then another one here to extend the signal there, what would end up happening on this system is these pistons would fire first here, and then the delay, the 1 tick delay, would go through the repeater, and then these ones would fire afterwards, and that would throw the whole farm out of sync, which we do not want. Now, in order to get this thing to function properly, okay, all we have to do is come to either one of these hoppers here, and what we're going to do is we're going to place a full stack of items in this here. Okay, as you will see, the piston fires, and then what you want to do is you want to come up here, and it doesn't matter how fast you do this, but basically what you want to do is you want to remove these blocks here that are in front of the zombie, okay, and then place down a half slab, and then do the same on the other side here, and then repeat that process for the other zombie pods here. So repeat that process for the other zombie pods here. As you can see, we've already got golems spawning in, so remove those blocks, place a slab. Okay, and once you're all done, this is what you should basically have. So you should have this thing here, okay, with your zombies definitely in place and all your villagers in place. By now, or by the time you get this done, everybody should have slept and worked. So once this gate here opens, we should see quite a bit of zombie spawning, or golem spawning anyways. And there we have 6 right away, and yeah, we're good to go. Now we can move on to stacking this thing. So in order to stack this thing, all you need to do is just basically repeat this process here. So the villager pods, or sorry, this thing down here, then the villager pods, and then you don't have to do the clock again, because all you have to do is just step it up using the repeater method there that we showed. Just double or triple the amount of resources that we had in the, opener there when we were going over it, and then repeat this as many times as you would like, basically. But you have to remember that the next platform, so this lower half platform here, has to be 16 blocks above the villagers' heads here.
Eventually.
Okay, and once you are done and you've got this stacked however many high you want, this is what you should have. So as you can see here, I only did it 3 high, but I've ran my redstone up. I've put my repeaters where I needed to in order to extend the signal. And if you just see here in a second, massive output of iron. So I mean, and I literally just finished this, so not even all the pods are ready. I forgot to name these ones down here, so the zombies did die off, but okay, so like all of our other iron farms designs, which are pretty much identical to this, again, if the iron golems get caught up on the edge here, all you have to do is replace these edge blocks with panes of glass, okay, and do that for the whole thing around it, even in the corners if you would like. Okay, but once you get that done, as you can see, they just slip and fall right in. Yeah, there it is. Okay, you can do as many as you want with this thing. Okay, over here in this world, I did it 5 high, as you can see. And I mean, yeah, the only thing that you need to do or need to keep in mind is that you do need to build a little chute for this thing. Okay, all the way down. You do not want the iron golems falling down here on this platform, as it will mess with the rates of golems that you do spawn from this thing. But yeah, that is it right there. Okay, on my other world, when I had the 5 of them stacked there, I set up 8 double chests in order to do a little AFK session, and when I woke up after 4.5 hours and checked the double chests, they were all filled right to the brim. So this farm here is pretty insane. When you do stack it up like this, it can get in a massive amount of iron per hour. And if you are on a server and way out in, you know, the middle of nowhere where nobody can find you, this is definitely something that you can build in order to turn a profit. So there you have it, you guys. That is the updated version of the iron farm where the villagers don't die. There is no possibility of them being able to hop out onto the edges here. There is no possibility for golems to spawn on the edges here, and everything else is run and connected up through redstone. So, you know, you can fiddle around with the timings down here if you want. You know, I just put in a full stack, which I believe is like a 47-second cycle, between 47 and 53 anyways, you know, so that's pretty good. You can get anywhere between, you know, 8 and 24 zombies per minute, or sorry, golems per minute on this farm. So yeah, anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys liked this iron super farm, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next video, and yeah, peace.